In this screencast, I'm going to talk about the Enhanced Course Grid module that's part of the Pro suite of modules for the Uncanny LearnDash Toolkit. And this particular module is straightforward out of the box to add a simple course grid, but there's a lot of flexibility, a lot of attributes that do add some complexity. For this module, there are no settings in the Uncanny LearnDash Toolkit settings page. Everything is managed when you're setting up pages by modifying the shortcode. So I'm going to spend the duration of this screencast talking about the different attributes and showing examples of what different settings can do. All of this is, of course, detailed in the knowledge base that's on the Uncanny Owl website under the support menu. But it's important that we show the variations as well. So the video is going to be reasonably long because we're going to cover a few different things. But I do want to walk through all of the attributes so that it's clear how everything is ordered. So let's start off with what's there out of the box. Now, right now you can see there are 4 columns, so 3 with courses, and then there's the button here for View More. And if I click the View More button, then it uses JavaScript to expand and show me additional courses. Now, I'm testing this on just a quick demo site with sample content. It's not valid, so in some cases the data is not going to be representative of what you'd see on a live LearnDash site, but it does at least serve the purpose of letting us demo what's there. So again, out of the box, 4 columns in total. There's the View More button to show and hide additional courses that are available here, and it shows all the courses when you click that button. So let's start off with the very first attribute, and I can show you right now this is the only thing on the page. So UO underscore courses shortcode. That's it. That's what's populating the 4 columns right now. This is how it works out of the box. And I should mention too, right now I am signed in, so you can see it's got the percentage complete for these things. That's because I am signed in. Otherwise, it wouldn't show percentage complete because the user's not signed in. Instead, it would show a view outline link. So it would link to the course page. Even though someone isn't signed in or doesn't have access, they would still be able to see the course page out of the box. And then here too, it's inheriting, if there is anything set for pricing there, it's showing the banner out of the box as well. So let's go back and look at some of the options that are available. The first one I want to add here is a category. So what we can do is we can use the shortcode to only show courses with a specific category. So I'm just going to make up a category, and I'm going to add that now. Equals, I'm going to use screencast. So I'll go ahead and save that. And what I haven't done is set up any courses in advance with that category. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit this course. So let me go ahead. I'm going to open that in a new tab. I will go ahead and edit that. And I'm going to change the category over here. So I'm going to add a screencast category. I'll add that new category. We'll go ahead and update that. And I definitely don't have that category for any other courses, so when I refresh the page now, there's only a single course that fits that criteria. So that is now there. So with that restriction, we've really limited the number of courses. The default, so when nothing is specified for category, then it includes all categories. So all of the courses, irrespective of what the category is set as. Category can be used either to show different courses for different categories on different pages. You might use it as a different level in the hierarchy to basically divide courses up kind of in a different level so it fits above courses, lessons, and topics. There's a lot of flexibility there in how you use categories. What I'm going to do next is an enrolled only attribute. And what this does is it only shows me courses that I'm currently enrolled in. So right now, this one's a little hard to demo just because I'm an administrator. And administrators, of course, have access to all courses. So that one's a little, it's not quite representative. So it's going to show me exactly what I had before, just because I am enrolled in all of the courses. We also have the opposite attribute for that. So instead of enrolled only, we have not enrolled. So not enrolled. And if I set that to yes, then it would show any courses that I'm not enrolled in. And because I'm an administrator right now, there are none. So you can see nothing appears here. I'm enrolled in all of the courses. But what I do want to show, I do want to show a coming soon example. So let me just change one thing over here. I need to make sure that auto completion is turned off. And let me just save that because I don't want anything to get completed as I work through it. And what I want to do, I'll change the shortcode back so I can get into one of the courses. So let me update that. Actually, what I'll do here instead, I'm going to create a new course. So I'm going to create, here it is, new course. And I'm going to call this one a coming soon course. So we'll call that coming soon. And we're not going to add any lessons or topics. But what I do want to do is add a coming soon tag. And we did that, we added that so that if you're creating courses and you want to let visitors know what courses are upcoming and will be added at a later date, then we can identify them differently in the course grid. So if I go back to, here's the course grid. Let me just open that up again and I'll close my last tab. So here we've got now a coming soon course. So I expanded them all. I didn't really need to. There's no image here because I don't have a featured image for this course. And that's why they're not showing up for some of the other ones as well. This is based on the featured image. And if you're adding featured images, I should mention they should be the same dimensions. You don't want to do any kind of cropping or have the layouts different for any of them. Try to make sure that all of the featured images are the same size. It's going to look a lot better. Anyway, you can see there is this coming soon course now, and it's called coming soon. I shouldn't have named it that because now it's a duplicate of that, but this is the text that's added automatically. This is the course name. What I do want to mention, because we have a coming soon course now, is how things are ordered. So how courses are ordered in the grid. So the first thing, or the first courses that are listed in the grid are the courses that the user is enrolled in with the highest percentage complete. So if this, for example, had 50% completion, it would be in front of this one. So what we're trying to do is make it as easy as possible for users to resume the course that they were probably in the middle of. So that's what we do. So it goes from 99% down to 0%. So everything they're enrolled in but not completed comes first. Then come the courses that, excuse me, that they're not enrolled in. So they have no enrollment, but the courses are available and there's no coming soon tag. So that would be next. That would be in between these. Then it's the coming soon courses. And at the very end are the completed courses. And we put those at the end just because since they are completed, it's less likely learners are going to go back into them as often. And we kind of want to promote what they're actively doing right now, as well as what they're enrolled in, and then the other courses that are available. But if you don't want to show something like the not enrolled courses and the coming soon courses, then use that enrolled only attribute. And that would then remove them from this list. So that's how that is handled. So we covered that and the not enrolled. And of course, the default when the attribute is not specified for both of those attributes is no. It includes everything. The next thing I want to talk about, if we go back to the shortcode, so let's go back here and let's use, what we're going to use instead is limit. And this one's a little interesting. If I put limit equals 1, what this number defines, and it has to be an integer, it defines how many courses are shown immediately before the View More button. So if I just add that in and then go back to my course grid test page, then there is only one course displayed and then the View More button. And then all the other courses are shown down here. So that's probably not something you would ever use. This does come into play more in combination with hiding the View More button. So I'm going to leave this one active. I'm going to show you another example first, but then I'll show it in combination with another attribute. So let's make it 8. No, that's going to be odd. Let's make it 7 now. So we do 7, and we still got the 4 columns. So what's going to happen then, you can see it's still kind of odd to have the 7. Anyway, it's going to show that that number before the View More. So it's a little confusing there. Okay, so let's go back. I wanted to show this. So where this is useful though, it's when we don't show the View More button. So there's another attribute. I'm going to change this to the other value in the default for this, actually not the default, sorry. What I want to do is I want to show all the courses and no View More button. So because what we can do with the View More button is, besides the way we show all the courses on screen with the grid, we also have an attribute where you can specify another URL for the View More button. So what you can do in that situation is you can have a list that shows a bunch of categories, so a bunch of course categories, and then instead of making all courses available from that page, you can have a View More button, and then that would link to a category page that would list all the courses. So yeah, instead of showing everything possible, like if your LearnDash site has dozens of courses, instead of showing everything on a single page, we can have separate pages for the categories, and we can do it using this shortcode. So what I would do then, there's an attribute for, I wouldn't use it here. So, but what I would do is I'd change the more attribute to whatever that URL is. Like, I don't have an example for this, but it's something like, so maybe under, I don't have a good example, but maybe it's fire safety or something like that. And you created a page that has the shortcode there. So then it would link to that instead. You can have a full URL in here. It doesn't have to be relative. Anyway, so then on that page, under the Fire Safety Courses page, then we want to show all of the courses with no View More button. We just want to have like a huge grid of all the courses. So what we would do then, so I'm going to change the limit to all here, and I'm going to change the hide View More attribute to yes, because we don't want it. So let's use those two, because this is how we generally, and then of course I'd have the category qualifier if I was, or the attribute if I was doing it that way, and showing a page just for all the courses in a given category. Let me go ahead and refresh the page now, and you can see how that works. So you can see now there is no View More button, and I'm just listing all the category, or sorry, all the courses. So it's a flat list. There's nothing to expand. Everything is just there. It's got all the courses. So that's how you might use the limit and the hide View More button. So generally when we do something like this, you can absolutely do this on any page, even if you're not using categories. Maybe you just want a list of all the courses and don't like the View More button. But we've been using it more on category pages. When there are a lot of courses and we divide them into categories, then we can have dedicated pages just for that course category and list all the courses. We don't need the View More button because the courses fill up the page. So that's an example of that. The next thing I want to show, let's go back to the simple grid again. we can control the number of columns. So the default is 4, of course. Um, so 4 columns in the grid. Right now I changed it to 3. So if I refresh, you can see 3 columns now fill that space. And it is all responsive, so you can try that out. So this is how that works. You can change exactly how this behavior works to whatever is appropriate for your context. What I wanted to show too was another example with 5, and definitely use the attributes in combination with each other to achieve the outcome that you're trying to get. Just a note too, so there you can see what happens when we do 5 columns instead. The images are a lot smaller. Everything does still work. If you are using 3, just again make sure that your featured images are of a sufficient resolution that the images still look good. Okay, so that is the cols attribute, so COLS. The next one I'm going to show is show image, and this controls showing or hiding the featured images. So right now, of course, the featured images are shown, but if you don't have any featured images, then you don't want to show those gray boxes. You can't do it conditionally so that only courses with featured images show the featured images. It has to be for all courses. So let me go ahead and refresh that, and I'm back to the 4 column layout, and you can see now there are no more featured images. So that's how it looks now for all the courses. There are no images there. That one's pretty straightforward. The next one we can talk through is price. And this is the banner. So this is that banner at the top that shows the price or free or whatever. So the LearnDash course grid includes that banner as well. And let's change this to no. So of course, out of the box, it is yes, it does show that banner, but let's suppose that this is for signed in users. We don't need to sell them on the courses. They don't need to see those prices. So let's not show it. So the banner is now gone. So the link to course, attribute, controls whether or not there are links to unenrolled courses. So the coming soon page is a good example of that. And I should have shown the before and after. I'll show you after in a second. So right now, if I click that, nothing happens at all. I don't go anywhere. If I change that to yes or remove the attribute entirely, then I am able to click through to the course. So let me go ahead and refresh this. And now when I click it, it takes this, or takes me to this page. We use that on sites where there is a coming soon page. So instead of content or regular course content, if it's coming soon, maybe we have some information on there, like this course is coming, in spring 2017 or something, and maybe some information about what it's going to cover, that kind of thing. So that can definitely be included as well as an attribute. The next one is order by and order. So if we wanted to, we could change it so that instead of the order that I described before, we could do it by date or by post title. So let's do it by post title. So order by, and then I'm going to change it to post title, and I'm going to make it ascending. Okay, let's go ahead and update that. So if I refresh the page after changing that shortcode, you can see that now it's doing it alphabetically, so by post title. So you can see this comes before the M, and if I expand that to completed, it's a little more obvious there, where coaching comes before course, leadership styles comes after course, and then you've got the additional ones here. It's all alphabetically instead. Before it's by date if other things are equal. So let's go back. The last ones that are available as attributes are simply colors, changing the colors of the boxes. So we can change the hover color of the border. We can change the view more color, the view more hover, and the view more text color. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Let me go ahead and delete that. We'll go back to the stock shortcode, and let's do a border hover. So this is the border that appears when someone hovers over it. So let's just put in a sample color. I'm going to make this that. Sorry, that. So if we wanted to modify that, let's take a look at the before and after. So that is saved, and of course you do have to use the hex codes for that. So the number sign and then the 6 characters. So now if I go over it, you can see that it is red instead. And let's change the View More button. So I don't want to change the text color. I'm going to stick with white, but let's make that red as well. So I'm going to make that View More color, and let's make that red too. And let's change the hover color so that it's red as well, but slightly lighter. I'm going to make it okay. And then my quotation mark, and update that. And let's see what that does. So right now it's the blue with the darker blue. Let's go ahead and refresh the page. So we have changed, sorry, the View More color also affects the banners there. So you can see it is red. It matches the red of the border outline, and then when I hover over it, it's slightly darker based on the hex code that I entered. So that essentially brings us to the end of the attributes that are available for the course grid. Hopefully that helps. Again, more information is available in the knowledge base. One thing that is available too, if you need to make a lot of CSS changes to the course grid, then in the plugin folder, there is a file that you can copy over to the child theme, and then you can customize that to change the colors for this. So hopefully that's helpful. Do check out the knowledge base, and there's more information there.